I studied graphic design at what was ML Sultan years ago, is now DUT in Durban. And yeah, got onto a Greyhound and came up to Joburg with a portfolio case and a suitcase. It was 1988, so the industry was very white at that stage and didn't really have anyone of color. So it was quite challenging. They hadn't met designers and creatives that were wanting to come into the industry that were of color at that stage. So after a few months of getting to all the interviews, I went into magazines. I went into publishing instead and loved it so much. I spent 11 years in publishing. So coming into advertising was actually quite late compared to my contemporaries. So my first gig in advertising was at Draft FCB, and I went into one of the toughest accounts in the industry, which is Edgar's, which is fashion. You know, fashion retail is not an easy beast, and so it's lots of late nights. We worked many weekends into early hours of the morning, which is difficult in your personal life. And I was a single mum at that stage, and that meant not spending enough time with my child. Trying to balance home and work life, which is not easy. I started to consult for Y&R towards July last year for 4 months, and working on Pick and Pay. So in January, after I'd taken a month off and went to India, traveled around the country for 4 weeks, I joined them in January. It's a really amazing time for Y&R. There's a real change happening in terms of creativity. Yeah, for me it was about, if I could show my kids that I love what I do, they will get a sense of purpose in their own lives. And that's what drove me. And I know that it's very difficult to manage that balance, but children need quality versus quantity. So for me, it is when I'm home with my kids, I'm home with my kids. They have that sense of security. They can form other bonds with other people, that whether it's their fathers or family members or friends, they can find that sense of self that's so important.